Everybody, Jake here once again, and with me are two of my good friends, Richard and
Reverend.
Dave.
What's up?
I'm not going to refer to you as Reverend.
You legally have to.
No, I'm not.
You can
I
call
don't
me
care.
minister,
I do not care.
healer, educator.
Nope, not going to happen.
I'm starting the Church of Gundology.
You're an ass.
I know a guy that does HTML. I'm going to do it on the internet.
Anyways, so this time we're going to be talking about the new Star Wars
Surprise, surprise.
series. Yeah, surprise. So they just released the cast, and we all know that the original cast is returning. Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill. Don't expect them to be very big roles.
And
They'll
Chewbacca
probably be
as well.
Peter
Yeah,
Mayhew.
I met him,
You did.
So have I.
Yeah.
and I also met Lando.
Oh yeah.
Is he going to be in this one?
I think so. He's on
Probably
Dancing
not.
with the Stars, though.
Yeah. He can barely walk.
I don't know.
I think he got kicked off. I think he got kicked off already, but I heard he was on.
He should be in this one, because I said to him when I met him, I hope to see you in episode 7.
Yeah.
So he should take my words to heart.
Yeah. Some random guy that he
Because
met at
you're
a comic
definitely the
convention.
only person that said that to
Yeah.
him.
I had green hair at the time.
Yeah. It's hard to ignore a man with green hair.
Really.
But anyways, so I think actually me and you were talking about this, Dave. Like we don't really expect the original cast members to be that big of
Yeah.
roles. They're probably just going to be more.
Handing off
Especially
the torch
considering
type
I
thing.
was even kind of surprised Harrison Ford is even coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, after the movies came out, he kind of bashed it, and
Yeah.
his character in the stories.
He-
Plus, he's the only one who really had a
Successful,
pretty
prosperous career.
yeah.
not
yeah.
that I mean, Mark Hamill had a pretty successful
Yeah.
acting
as
career.
the Joker.
In my
One of the
opinion,
best
the best
Jokers.
iteration of the Joker.
Yeah.
Batman
The best.
animated series.
And
Of
the
all.
like
green,
he is to what Kevin Conroy is to Batman.
Yeah.
which-
Yeah.
and a really
very
good Green
fitting.
Goblin in the '90s Spider-Man TV show.
yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, he had a
That was
pretty-
Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
It's
Harry
kind of the
Fisher
same
did
sort
lots
of
of
character,
drugs.
Yeah.
maybe, kind of. Yeah.
But yeah, so aside from the original cast, again like we were saying, probably just gonna be handing down the torch to the new people. Which the new cast I'm only familiar with or somewhat familiar with one
I've
of them.
heard of some of them, and I've only seen one of them. And
I didn't recognize a single name. Well, on the Wikipedia page, none of them had a page of their
yeah.
own.
they're
So
not that. None of them
Yeah.
are all that big, which I think
I kind of like that.
could
though.
be a good. Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be a good thing.
But aside from the cast, I'm more because I think really the only thing that's for sure is it takes place 50 or 60 years after.
I thought it was like 20
Yeah,
or
it's like
30.
30 or
Really?
40.
Not
Oh, okay.
50 years.
I want to
It's
say it's like 30 or 40.
More or less
Okay,
the
30
amount
or
of time
40.
that's passed since episode
Yeah,
6.
basically.
yeah, that probably would make more sense. But anyway, so it's been X amount of years after the last Star Wars movie, not the prequel trilogy, which that could be a whole other thing. I know there's a lot of hate for those.
The best thing in the franchise is KOTOR.
Who?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, okay,
Games.
yeah.
That's the best thing I think that's come out of the franchise.
I've not played them, but I've heard nothing but good things about.
Yeah,
the
a lot of
Old
people
Republic
agree
series.
with me on that one.
Best thing about those movies was Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, great
He
actor.
was in one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And died like he dies in a lot of other movies. But died for a reason, though. But anyway, so, I don't really know, what the story is. I don't know if they really have much of a story, because...
They have. I mean, it's coming out next year. They
Yeah.
have
Well,
to have a
they
script.
haven't released much
No,
of
they
the
released that photo of the script read, so
Yeah.
they have a script.
Yeah,
But I mean,
they haven't released any kind of official synopsis
Yeah.
or anything. All we know is that it's a sequel, a few decades after.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about the books and stuff, what
Yeah.
happens afterwards, but I know Leia and Han have a son.
They've
Yeah.
actually
Like
said
Luke
that.
Solo.
Well, they've actually
I
said
don't know
too
if that's
that
where they're going with it.
They've actually specifically said that they're not going to adapt any of that, but they might include one or two things that make those things canon.
Yeah. Okay.
Could be. I'm okay with that. Again, I
So-
don't know much about the books. I haven't.
Yeah. So, the only thing that I can think about,
Except for the kid,
the story might be about is... Because, after the last movie, Luke basically toppled the Empire by, basically turning Vader back into, Anakin Skywalker.
Who immediately died.
Yeah, who immediately died.
Spoiler alert! People
Yeah.
who haven't seen Star
Movie
Wars.
that came
Yeah.
out in the
Oh.
80s.
Yeah, I think it was early to mid 80s.
Yeah,
when
the last one came out.
So yeah, if you haven't seen it, what the hell's wrong with you? You need to see it.
Yeah.
Anyways, the only thing that I can think of is the Sith is still, they're basically always going to be around just as long as the Jedi's are. So I feel like it's going to be more I guess the Sith trying to, kind of get back into, basically make a comeback. Because with the Sith, there's only two at a time.
Unless you count the Clone Wars.
Yeah, unless you count the Clone Wars.
Which was weird. Because you had Sidious, Count Dooku, Asajj Ventress, Grievous.
Well, I think Dooku was he was Sith.
What's up with him?
I feel like he was more just he wasn't
like a bounty hunter or something.
He was.
I don't even think so much a bounty hunter. I think it was more just like he was his own thing.
He was Sidious's apprentice.
Yeah, he was Sidious's own apprentice, he wasn't.
The Sith always exists in the two. There's the master and the apprentice, and the apprentice is always supposed to kill the master. But then Dooku had the apprentice in Asajj Ventress, or however the hell.
Qui-Gon was also his apprentice.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Sith.
Well, no, but I'm just
when he was.
Yeah, when he was a Jedi.
Dooku was.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of almost immediately after Yoda says the whole thing in Episode 1 about there's always two Sith are, and then it's like, okay, well now we're gonna put 50 of them out here.
Yeah. But now, when Dooku was talking to Obi-Wan, he was like, we could, join together and basically take out the Sith. I feel like he was more, he kind of studied both, the Sith and the Jedi. He wasn't really either one per se. He was kind of just, I guess, he had his own ambitions. It's like, I want to be the guy. I don't want to be,
like
best
no one ever was.
Yeah. To catch them all is his real...
To kill them all.
Maybe capture. I don't know. I mean, again, they could have fleshed out his character, which that is actually one of my main problems with the Star Wars franchise, is a lot of the coolest characters, they completely underutilized.
I would like to see in the next movies more like alien, not like Chewbacca type aliens, but like alien characters in the starring roles.
I think one thing they are going to do, because I think they said they wanted to do 2 Star Wars movies like every other year, or like every 2 years.
Yeah, one of them being like offshoots.
Yeah,
like
so I think...
Boba Fett movie.
Which, that one I'm really looking for, because Boba Fett, is...
For the longest time, I think everybody agrees.
Yeah, one of the most badass characters, completely underutilized in the movies. He
actually first appeared in an animated short on the Star Wars Christmas special.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. Did not know that.
That's when he first ever appeared.
So you learn when you listen to these podcasts.
The more
if you haven't seen the Star Wars Christmas special, by the way, you should.
Yeah.
At least see the Nostalgia Critic review.
Yeah. I am excited that they're gonna, do like a Boba Fett movie, and hopefully like a Darth Maul movie too, because he was another one of those really awesome characters. You're like, I like that guy. He's awesome. Oh, he just died.
He had
one line of dialogue.
Yeah, he wasn't, because he came back in that shitty Clone Wars cartoon. The shitty one, not the good one.
Yeah. But yeah, even
Robot
still,
legs.
I would like to see a movie about Darth Maul, even Grievous, because I feel like Grievous, there is more to him, but they didn't.
Yeah, you kind of find out where he gets his cough in that first.
The good Clone Wars.
Yeah. But again,
it's about all the development.
Not just the villains.
Movies
the villains, were really cool and underutilized. But even some of the Jedi, like Kit Fisto was really cool in the animated show.
He was like the Piccolo of Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't think he actually had a line of dialogue in the movies.
Nope.
But he
was around.
He didn't have a line of dialogue in the good Clone Wars either.
Like the 5-minute shorts. But he was a badass.
Yeah,
though.
he just smiled in acknowledgement of his mission and did some badass stuff in the water with a lightsaber.
But even in the third prequel movie, he actually held his own against Sidious for a while, which is pretty impressive.
Without a line of dialogue, and then he died.
Yeah, I think the dialogue goes on in his head. He just sends telepathic messages, maybe. Or maybe that's probably not canon whatsoever.
Side note, I also maintain that Boba Fett should have killed Mace Windu.
Yeah. I agree.
Would have been a lot better. He still could have fought Sidious.
Yeah. But, even,
Boba Fett
even Jango Fett, I think, would be another cool character to make a movie about
just
her.
that whole world would have been a cool one.
Like the Mandalorian,
Well, there's a lot of that stuff in Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Mandalorian stuff.
I know from what I've been told about the books and stuff, the whole Mandalorians pretty crazy.
Yeah, because they're not like a race. They're just like this outfit of bounty hunters, and they're like the most elite force of basically bounty hunters. I mean, even
hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah. Even Boba Fett, I think,
they've even killed Jedi.
Yeah, I think Boba Fett himself has 2 or 3 lightsabers from Jedis that he's killed. Even in Jango Fett in the Clone Wars held his own against Obi-Wan for
that was one of probably the highlight, maybe the highlight of that movie.
Yeah.
I did like the whole Coliseum thing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just as far as one-on-one fights go, that may be the best in the first three.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
you're
Obi-Wan and Anakin was
Yeah.
that was pretty
pretty
cool.
awesome.
And
Although-
Yoda and Dooku. That was,
that was...
because that was the first time you actually see Yoda
Yeah.
fight. You're kind of like,
You see this, like, frail little,
I remember them talking
yeah,
about
2
that
feet
beforehand,
tall.
too, because I had this cool substitute teacher at the time. We were talking about the movie, like, probably even maybe a year before it even came out, and he was like, yeah, this one they're going to have Yoda fight, finally.
yeah.
He was just like, yeah, he's going to go all crazy, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. So like you
It's
have
like,
these,
no way. He's
you
gonna
have high
win.
expectations for Yoda, and then when you finally actually see him fight, like he's doing like flips and stuff,
Yeah.
and
You expect it to be all just kind of sitting there doing it all with his mind or something.
oh no,
'cause
he's
never-
pretty
yeah.
agile.
Oh, yeah.
The,
But, I mean, you
A New
expect
Hope,
something
Obi-Wan.
like that.
Yeah.
But we don't have the budget to actually
Yeah.
fight type hand motions.
But like I also remember in playing like Star Wars Battlefront, in Battlefront 2 when you can unlock the Jedi's or Sith.
Yeah.
I always hated like when I was playing as the Sith and they would unlock Yoda because he's so tiny.
Yeah.
Like you just see like like I think it always one of the clone troopers or whatever would be like, they've unlocked Yoda, he's in the battlefield. You're like, ah, shit. So now like you have to kill the people in front of you, but you also have to mind yourself for the little green thing running around. And I remember like distinctly playing one time. I was doing really good. I was about to unlock my Sith Lord. And then they were like, Yoda's on the field, and I was like, all right. I just gotta stay wary, and I just see like a little green thing run up the hill, and it's like, okay, I just saw him, where'd he go? And then next thing you know, he just like runs through my feet and chops my legs off, basically. But yeah, that's another thing is, Yoda was awesome. I like the fact that he finally had his moment to like be all badass in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Of course,
yeah,
it would be really hard to make a puppet.
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah, people say, why did they make Yoda CGI in this one? Rah, rah, rah. But,
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah, I think it was worth it.
The only
Yeah.
other way they could have done that is if he was a puppet, is just to have him, like, waving his lightsaber around in the
Yeah.
air with the Force, and that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's awful.
He might have still been a puppet in like the first one.
think
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
The first one he was.
Yeah, because again, all of his scenes are just like sitting there in those like what seem like ridiculously comfortable little
Yeah.
like chairs or stools or whatever.
Even when they were away, though, they're like hologram image or whatever. Would
Yeah.
still sit on the chair.
Yeah, because again, I imagine they're just so comfortable. That's all the Jedi Masters do. That's where they do all their meditation.
Like I'm 800 years old now.
Yeah, but yeah,
I
that's
deserve a nice chair.
that is something that like you brought up. I think would be cool is if they kind of brought in some of the other lesser known races because we all know like the Wookiees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would like to see
Yeah, it was kind of the most they.
the other races. I
into
can't
it.
think of any
I mean,
like at the top of my
the
head.
humans.
all the, yeah.
The humans.
All the main characters you see with actual dialogue are either humans or villain aliens. It seems
Yeah.
like I'd like to see a
Yeah, who are these other
protagonist
Jedi?
as your like a main cast member
Yeah.
being an alien.
Again,
Yeah.
I guess with Boba Fett, all the characters who aren't Jedi
Yeah.
or Sith,
Yeah.
explore the whole universe in general.
Hey, that would be also really cool because you kind of just the movies only focus on. Actually, I mean, even the original trilogy doesn't really focus on many of the other planets. It's just like Tatooine,
Death Star.
briefly Alderaan before it's blown to
Yeah.
pieces, Endor, Hoth, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again, I'd say a lot of that was just budget. And I guess it just worked better with the story. But then the prequel trilogy had like a lot of the other planets like Naboo and stuff. So it'd be cool to like see more again of the other
Yeah, Coruscant was pretty cool.
Yeah.
galaxy. And again, like maybe that's where they could introduce some of these other alien.
Also, the planet that Grievous was on in the third one. When,
No, yeah.
I
I
guess
don't remember
before-
the name of it. But
yeah,
Yeah,
so
it was
it's like
like
Amazon,
they
where
were
Obi-Wan
on
rides that
cliffs and
lizard
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I did like that fight.
Yeah. Again, like
I've always said, how can you not like Obi-Wan?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Ewan
think like
McGregor's-
that was really cool though. Grievous finally fights Obi-Wan, and like he pulls out the lightsabers. You're like, oh man, he's gonna be able to hold his own. Then pulls out those other two arms and lightsabers. You're like, oh shit.
Obi-Wan, run!
Which you would already know about if you'd seen the cartoon, which
Yeah.
I had. But
Yeah.
still, it was. Yeah.
Well, it's a lot different seeing that.
Oh yeah.
But I think it just is testament to show like how good of a lightsaber fighter Obi-Wan is because taking on 4 lightsabers at the same time, which actually a friend of mine was saying like apparently different lightsaber colors mean different things. I think
Yeah,
the blue
the guy was-
lightsaber
the guy was
is
saying.
like
Apparently in the
like
books, they
duelists.
have, they
like
have,
they're really good at like dueling with the hand to
I
hand.
mean, they have all the colors of the rainbow too.
Yeah.
All you see, which I hope they add in these
Yeah.
new movies.
The purple
'Cause all you see is the
lightsaber
red.
means Sam Jackson asked if he could have a purple lightsaber.
Yeah.
That's how that went.
Yeah, but I think they did work that into the story. I think blue, the
There's,
purple
like, red,
means.
blue, yellow, white.
I think purple is
There's
like
even a black
you're
one.
more aggressive with like the dueling.
Yeah.
Like which he wasn't more, like Obi-Wan more. I guess eloquent with like the dueling with the lightsabers. He was just kind of like sheer brute force. Like I'm gonna kill you now, and just started, whacking
What was
it.
green?
Green, I think, is they're more mindful with like the force. Like
Makes
I
more
guess
sense for
yeah,
Qui-Gon.
so I think that's why
And
like
Yoda.
Yoda again like does more of like the force with like his hand and mind, and then I think red is I guess like the Sith equivalent of
Actually, in KOTOR, you could have just any color you want if you find the right crystal. So you could be a full-fledged, goody two-shoes Jedi Knight with a red lightsaber.
That's pretty cool. And I think yellow, that color is basically that's like the Black Ops of the Jedi. Those are the ones that's like they're like off the records. They'll do the behind the scenes, like they'll assassinate
They'll
people
do the
for
wet work.
for the greater good of I guess the Republic.
For the greater good of God.
Another thing that would be good Iron Maiden song in reference, but that'd be another cool thing to add in the movies is whether it's like just a mini story arc in like the main franchise
It wouldn't
series,
take that long to cover it, really,
Or-
I think.
or just do like a little spin-off movie of I don't know one of the characters in the books or something that's I don't know because again I haven't read the books or know a whole lot about them.
I read like half of one book once.
Okay, so you're
Man, I
the
read-
expert on this.
Well, when I was a kid, I read some of those. I don't know how canon they are.
Yeah.
Like the little Obi-Wan Qui-Gon. I think they are, but they're just like
Yeah,
kid or young adult books or whatever.
yeah.
Well, I
They
know
weren't
that
bad
there
as
was
I
like
remember. I don't
I know
think I
that
really learned much about the
one of
universe from it.
Han Solo and Leia's kids. They had like 3 or 4, but
Isn't
aside
one of
from
a Sith though?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. One of them actually found the recording on R2D2 of Anakin killing all the younglings, and I guess it inspired him.
Yay, children! Death.
I mean, that sounds a lot like me, But yeah, so that made him turn into a Sith Lord or something. I just read about that on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Because I feel like
I would like to talk about it more and hear more about.
Yeah.
Because the books sound so much better.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I feel like if I was in the Star Wars universe, I would not be a good Jedi or Sith. Like if I was in the Jedi Order, I'd probably learn enough to where I can hold my own, but then just be really lazy. It's like, all right, we're gonna go fight the Sith. Come on. Yeah. Not feeling it. My socks run backwards, so I'm gonna lay down on the couch and take it easy. It's like, but I'll give you
my spaghetti.
I'll give you my moral support.
I'm with you with the Force.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, okay,
They're in spirit.
we're kicking you out of the Jedi Order. It's like,
I would be a complete
darn it.
dick.
I know what I need to know.
and then it's like, I'll just join the Sith then. Get like the lightning
Yeah.
force, because I guess it was only the Sith that did the lightning force.
Well,
it seemed like.
It was more that the Jedi probably could do it, but they chose not to because that's the dark side.
Yeah.
And
Like I would stick with the Sith long
Lightning's
enough to
very
learn
fun.
that, and then when they're like, all right, we're gonna go kill some Jedi. Not feeling it. The socks run backwards again, so I gotta deal with that.
I would
Grey's
just-
Anatomy is on.
It's like haven't caught up with that in a while. It's like, yeah, you're out of the Sith organization, and then I guess be like a freelancer, a really lazy one though. It's like, you want to help us take down an evil
A Dairy Queen?
A Dairy Queen. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get me some blizzards though.
Dairy Queen!
No, we're assassinating someone at a Dairy Queen.
It's like,
But I want a blizzard.
can I get the blizzard first? Then
No!
Oh, okay. I'll have no part of this then.
You're fired.
But yeah, I'd just be like the really lazy.
Now you could get the Blizzard. You would have to get a Blizzard.
I'm gonna go anyway.
Because
Get a blizzard.
you want to go in there, be kind of stealthy, don't want to draw attention. You
See,
got
there we go.
That's
That's
not who the
Blizzard.
hit is.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
just some
you
lame
can sit
political figure.
You can sit
Yeah.
behind that guy.
But if it's some
and
guy
then
who
when
can
he's
fight-
not looking, you just
Yeah.
chop his head off with
exactly. I think like
yellow lightsaber. I guess yours would be.
I'll join. I'll just kind of go in between. Like if the Jedi's are winning at that point, I'll assassinate a Sith. At a convenient
I would-
moment. He's playing Xbox. I just lop his set off. It's like, yeah, that's what heroes do.
They only have
I'm gonna
s-
kick your body while you're down.
They
too.
only have Sony in the Star Wars
Oh, or
universe.
Sony,
Don't you
okay.
remember Episode 3, Anakin with his PSP?
Okay, so Sony. He's playing PlayStation 50 by that point or whatever. Or, if the Sith are winning, I'll just, I won't kill younglings. That's where I'll draw the line.
I would kill younglings. I would make
exclusively kill younglings.
Yeah, I would make a point to kill younglings. I would be
like, what's the hit?
First.
Is it a child?
I would be the first ever force wielding post birth abortionist.
Jesus, this got dark awfully fast. Yeah.
Everyone has thought about what they would do if they lived in the Star Wars universe.
And got a girl pregnant.
I don't know if everyone's thought about that much. I mean, you could...
Outside...
We're not...
Lightsaber Jedi Order, you're supposed to
lightsaber abortion.
Yeah. Okay, clearly we're not as dark as you, Richard, so... I only thought about what I would do as a Jedi/Sith, and then once I get enough learnings, I would just do my own thing. Probably still be really lazy and just mooch off people.
I would like to have a lightsaber
just use the mind
broadsword.
Tricks to get...
Like, because you got all the lightsabers, I mean... They have different kind of handles, but they all have the same kind of blade. I'd like to see a lightsaber broadsword.
That would be pretty cool.
I feel like that would read that well.
So?
On the
it would look cool.
Camera, though.
It
wouldn't look cool if it was...
They've done stuff like that they've done stuff like that and made it work in the Phantasy Star games.
Well, I think it would have to look more like an actual blade, though, whereas the lightsabers are just sort of light beams. I feel like a broad light beam would be sort of weird.
Well,
or maybe lightsaber...
And they kind of have to explain why it looks more...
Lightsaber
solid.
Daggers, if you're like a rogue Sith or something, that'd be kind of cool.
There was a cheese knife on Family Guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. But,
Which totally canon?
Yeah, totally canon to the Star Wars franchise. I mean...
It's like Crisis on Infinite Earths type scenario.
Yeah.
Because I know what that means.
You do know what that
means. Yeah, I do. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. I don't know if Jake knows what that means.
I don't. I'm kind of lost here. But
okay, well,
it's a big thing in
Flashpoint,
DC Comics,
and that has nothing to do with Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm not as savvy with comic books as you two are.
Because Dark Horse does the Star Wars comics.
Yeah, they do.
Dark Horse is owned by DC.
I don't imagine that'll be going on for much longer, though. I figure since Disney owns everything now that eventually Marvel will get a Star Wars comic.
It's only a matter of time to
I mean,
they've had them before.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
As long as Disney doesn't mess with like HBO and like Game of Thrones, I'm fine.
Well, they haven't really messed
Disney.
No.
Disney of Game of Thrones.
They haven't really messed with anything they bought except giving them more funding. I mean, Marvel is Marvel's arguably doing better. I mean,
I will say
we'd get like one movie every year or two.
Yeah.
And then Disney bought them out, and we're getting like 2 a year.
Yeah, that is true. That is a good point.
And they're good.
Yeah, I mean, I was really skeptical when Marvel bought out...
Any of the Marvel movies.
Which, that was actually kind of a concern with a lot of people when, Disney bought out Star Wars. Yeah. You're kind of like,
Well, Princess Leia is now technically a Disney princess.
Yeah, but, that's when I was thinking, well, Disney done pretty good with, the Marvel movies. Yeah. Like, again, like Iron Man, that was kind of their first...
Yeah, really, ever since then, it's...
Been pretty much, pretty
that
uphill
was before
from
Disney
there.
bought them out, though. I think Disney first officially...
wasn't that long ago, really.
I think their first officially that was theirs after the acquisition was the Avengers.
Okay. I mean, it was all leading up to Avengers.
Yeah, but I mean, they had bought the rights, so they were the technical distributors after that.
Okay, well, even still, like, they've still, Avengers was arguably one of the best superhero movies, made. So I think, again, like, Disney, I don't think it's, like you said, going to interfere, like, with Star Wars.
They're just going to give it more money.
Yeah, which, more money, I think, is great, because there were certain parts, almost, I guess, more with, like, with the older movies, like, when Lucas would always go back and redo them or whatever, he'd just add those random CGI scenes. They weren't even good CGI scenes.
Greedo shoot first.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing,
Han
Lucas?
shot first.
Han shot first. Yeah. Well, that is our word, okay?
Maybe Disney will change that back.
Hopefully. Because, again, it's
in the 15 billion 3 release.
Yeah, if they know what's good for it. Yeah, right before this next one comes out.
And the Boba Fett CGI.
Yeah.
That was...
Yeah, but, again, like, hopefully they'll stop with all that nonsense.
Or redo it again and do it right.
Yeah.
Why they stopped doing the 3D release just for theaters?
Oh yeah, they did like episode 1 and that was it.
2 and 3 would have
I think it's because...
What I really wanted to see, though, was to get a chance to see 4, 5, and 6 on theaters.
Yeah.
That's what I was mostly excited about.
I mean, they might still do that, but I think by the time they released the first one, Disney hadn't bought them out yet.
Yeah.
So I think Disney will have to.
I think Disney just put the kibosh on that whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, they might do it later, but yeah, that is kind of a shame that they only.
Yeah, 'cause
You know.
our generation
Has
never
not
got
seen
to see
those.
those
Yeah.
in theaters.
Yeah. That would have been a cool moment though when you first see, the second one, and you find out Darth Vader is Luke's father. I imagine like people just like shat themselves. It's kind of like, what?
Yeah, if you didn't know at the time. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no
By
one
the
did when
time
it
we-
first was in
Yeah.
theater.
Well,
yeah,
yeah, but I mean, by the time we
Oh, yeah.
saw it, it was
Unless-
so in the culture.
Yeah.
Unless maybe you're German, because Vader in German means father,
Yeah.
spelled differently, and I
Vader.
think pronounced
No,
facer.
it's spelled the same, but it's got like accents on it or something. It's pronounced Vader or something.
No, I think it's like because I know V's in German are pronounced as F's.
Well, it might be
so yeah, maybe like
father.
the
Yeah.
country of Germany and German speakers have been like, oh, he's his father.
Yeah.
Obviously, Darth Vader. Come on, people.
It's like
I actually heard though
John Claude Van Damme
that was just.
Expendables 2, Verlaine.
Yeah.
I actually heard that wasn't Lucas's intention though. It was just coincidence.
Oh, well.
And
I
like
could see that.
I just assumed he was clever.
Originally, he was
Um,
gonna have that line be, you killed my father. It was like, no, Luke, Obi-Wan killed your father.
Yeah.
And then, because he wasn't directing that
Yeah.
one, so the guy who
Well, I
was
know-
directing it actually said, we're
They
gonna.
didn't
we're
tell
g-
Mark Hamill or.
Well, no, I heard that he did tell Mark Hamill. He said like,
yeah,
he said,
Mark Hamill knew, but the guy.
yeah. He said, we're gonna dub this over. Just act like this is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whoever was in the Darth Vader suit,
Yeah.
whatever,
He
that
didn't
was
know.
actually delivering the line that
Yeah.
day, didn't know. Nobody else knew.
Yeah. Well,
So
they
that's really cool
dubbed
though.
him all over with James
Yeah.
Earl Jones.
Which again,
Is
the
it
man's
probably for the best?
the man's
Yeah.
got a great voice.
He was also on House.
really.
Yeah.
Didn't
He
know
was
that.
an African dictator.
Oh, there you go. Wouldn't be the first time he's played an African dictator, and Welcome to America.
Better not be the last.
Yeah, I mean, come on, what's he been doing lately? Not a whole lot.
Not playing
House-
African dictators. I mean,
Or Mufasa, or Darth Vader. He needs to do more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a good place to end it.
Just end it right there. It's
yeah.
over.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap this up. So if you all have any opinions or whatever, feel free to use
All
the
12
comments.
of you.
Yes. Oh, all right. We got from 5 to 12 in this recording. All
One
right.
unaired.
Based on absolutely nothing. But all right, everybody.
I'm just
We love
going
you
by
all.
the
Good night.
inflated projection, or inflation.
Yeah.
Projected inflation.
Well, it is a rough economy.
Oh yeah, it is. But
It costs so
feel
much to watch
feel free to
YouTube.
continue liking, subscribing, and commenting and all that jazz. So
All two
until
of you.
it went from 12 to 2. Probably more realistic though. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
I feel like we alienated a lot of people with those last couple comments.
Yeah.
probably. So if you're still around,
Fuck you all.
It's a good way to end
4
it.
viewers.
So till next time, everybody. Cheers.